mais je tiendrai bon. Les quolibets et les crachats ne m'impressionneront pas. Je ne baisserai jamais la tête, car nous avons une mission à accomplir. Le peuple français était intimidé, tétanisé, endoctriné, culpabilisé. Mais il relève la tête, il fait tomber les masques, il dissipe les miasmes mensongers, il chasse ces mauvais bergers. Nous allons continuer la France. Nous allons poursuivre la belle et noble aventure française. Nous allons transmettre le flambeau aux prochaines générations. Aidez-moi, rejoignez-moi, dressez-vous. Nous les Français, nous avons toujours triomphé de tout. Vive la République et surtout, vive la France.
Well, that's taking a stand. He's like the photo negative of Canada's Aaron O'Toole, a man who stands for nothing. Zemmour stands for many things fiercely. Right or wrong, he'll tell you what he believes. And he didn't just cook this up on the basis of a new poll. He's believed these things for decades, made the case for decades, written books about it, been punished and prosecuted for these ideas for decades. Even if you disagree with them, he's no liar. A few days ago after that video, I saw this tweet announcing a huge rally with what looked like thousands of chairs and inviting the public to attend. It was in the outskirts of Paris, and I thought, that's a bit Trumpy. Will he get Trump-sized crowds? Clearly, he's not into this social distancing mask business. I don't know his position on those things, but I can sort of see how he acts. But in the back of my mind, I wondered if they'll do to him what they did to Trump. Remember when Trump had that rally in Chicago, how the gangs descended on it, indistinguishable from the Democratic Party, the violence? I wondered if it would be like that. And it was. But look at this language here. This is from Twitter. Violent scenes break out at rally for French presidential candidate Eric Zemmour. Does violence just break out like a rash or something? Sounds accidental or passive or random. Did violence break out? Or like at Trump's Chicago rally, where Antifa thugs sent to break out the violence? Here, violence erupts, like it was a volcano or something. It erupted. Here's another report from a German state media company saying Zemmour was far right. Okay, but it doesn't label the people who broke out the violence, does it? They don't have an insult attached to their name. Here's the disgraceful AFP. They say anti-racism advocates were beaten up at a French presidential rally for far-right TV pundit Eric Zemmour, while in Paris, thousands marched to denounce his views. Got it. So the people who broke out the violence were anti-racism advocates, even though they had crashed an event featuring an Arab Jew, son of immigrants, a person of color. Okay, got it. Here's Reuters. Here's some video published by Reuters. Looks like the Antifa protesters were right there inside the event. They weren't protesting outside. They went inside. Imagine blaming that on the people hosting the event. If Trump supporters infiltrated a Joe Biden rally, not that he had rallies, and then got into a fight, do you think the headlines would read the same way? But look at this. Paris, French far-right presidential candidate Eric Zemmour was left lightly injured after being assaulted at his first campaign rally on Sunday, where fighting also broke out during his speech in front of thousands of supporters. Oh, I thought it was the bad Zemmour supporters who were the violent ones, but someone actually injured Zemmour himself. Oh, but it was lightly injured, was it? That's funny. Breaking, Zemmour, the candidate, has been injured just before his first meeting. He must rest for 9 days. Oh, lightly injured, to stay at home for 9 days, really? You know, they tried prosecuting him and fining him. YouTube is censoring him. His opponents are infiltrating his events. I wonder how far they'll go to stop this Arab Jew who loves France. I don't know much about him, not much more than I've told you today. Perhaps he is awful, I don't know. But the people against him, they, I know, are awful. But what will they do to stop him? It wouldn't shock me if they did what they did to Jair Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil. Do you remember this from the campaign trail? Shocking. Stabbed him on the campaign trail, nearly killed him, lost so much blood. That injury still hobbles him. An inch over would have killed him. They'll do whatever they can to stop Bolsonaro. The same people hate Zemmour. This is a race to watch. That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.